President Obama coming to Hillary Clinton's aid over the weekend, telling Fox News Sunday host Chris Wallace that she did not jeopardize national security by using her private email server. Take a listen to him here.
There's classified and then there's classified. There's stuff that is really top secret, and there's stuff that is being presented to the president or the Secretary of State that you might not want on the transom or going out over the wire, but is basically stuff that you could get in open source.
Yeah, of course, the State Department did release over 2,000 emails that were later deemed classified, and dozens more were labeled top secret. And now even rival Bernie Sanders is questioning her judgment.
A candidate who receives an enormous amount of money from special interests, a candidate who voted for the war in Iraq, a candidate who voted for virtually every disastrous trade policy, which have cost us millions of jobs. Well, you know what? Maybe her judgment is not quite as high as it should be.
All right, our political panel is back for some analysis for us. Leslie Marshall and Brad Blakeman. Brad, starting with you. I watched what the president said, and I wasn't really surprised by his defense of her. I mean, what's he going to say, right? But at the same time, do you think at all he might be starting to sweat on this one? I mean, this is not exactly a gold star for his State Department to have had all this going on.
No, but it's totally improper for a president. He's a lawyer. He knows better. And by the way, he might be a material witness in this case. Why? Because his emails are caught up in this as well. And there could have been classified materials passed in an unclassified manner between the president and Secretary Clinton. So here we have a situation where a material witness is tampering with the system, obstructing justice. So who do you think runs the Justice Department? The President of the United States as part of the executive branch.
It definitely seems like there's a big conflict of interest on this one.
Yeah, something smells.
Leslie, is there any way to make this less impartial, less appearance of a conflict?
Well, first of all, I think this is a stretch to say this is obstruction of justice, although I do agree the president should have responded, well, let's see how the investigation plays out. That I would agree with. But with regard to partiality or impartiality, I think it just comes down to, does 2 + 2 = 4? Is carelessness or stupidity or recklessness, these are adjectives that have been used about this, criminal? And what the president is saying is what we've heard. He's also saying something that I think most Americans know. Nobody's going to send out an email, we're going to take out bin Laden Tuesday at 4 p.m., delete after reading. And I think most of us know that. And that's not just here, but
there was
throughout the world with allies and others.
There was classified information in those emails. And, let's not forget how easy it is that, if you send something along, or forward something along, I mean, we live in an environment where computers are getting hacked every day, Brad. I mean, it's fortunate, and we don't really know what people were able to potentially see or not see, but we know our allies and enemies alike are all trying to spy on us 24/7. So doesn't that, breed or some kind of sense of responsibility if you're Secretary of State to safeguard all this stuff with a big lock and key? Brad.
She's under obligation as a matter of law to do just that. And she didn't do it by her own admission. Yeah, she's stupid. There's no question about what she did is stupid, but it's also possibly criminal. She set this up for her own benefit. We had a government system. She chose not to use it. There are 2,000 emails in question. Some of them are top secret. That is a given. If she released that information, we have to presume as a matter of law that our enemies have it. China's not going to say they have it. We have to presume they have it. Why? Is because it went through an unclassified system.
Leslie, this just hasn't gone away, but is it having an effect on her polling? I mean, you look at Bernie Sanders and the success he's had in some states and the pressure that's putting on her, and you combine that with what's going on with this investigation, and has it hurt her chances at winning the nomination in any way, in your view?
I don't think so, because most Democrats, I think, shared the view that Senator Sanders put out there at the very beginning, in the first debate, where he said, nobody cares about your darn emails. And I think that's really for Democrats. But I don't think it helps her, certainly in a general election where people who may not be in love with her, and whether it ends up being, and it looks like it'll be Trump or Cruz who are on the Republican platform as the nominee. I don't know if it'll make them stay home or just say, hey, I got to stick with my party if they're former Republicans. But those independents, it does hurt her with regard to perception of level of trust and judgment. And so I do think that when people, and I think that's part of why people want it out there now. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If God forbid Hillary Clinton were to drop dead tomorrow, I don't think we'd hear the words emails or Benghazi again.
All right, well,
No, because she'd take it to her grave.
We'll see what happens on all of it. Thank you so much, Leslie and Brad. Good to have you guys here.